So today, by very popular request, we are going to be looking over my settings. I know it's been quite some time since I've looked at these. I made a video about this around a year ago, so it's changed a little bit, but not too much. So to start it off, we have our gameplay. So text chat, like all the voice chat and all this kind of stuff, it doesn't necessarily matter what you have it as, but I have it at default, and I like to keep crossplay on, obviously, because it doesn't really matter. And then these should be defaulted at high. You want to keep these all on high because of you get the best connection for that. And most of these are all default, just like I said before, so you don't necessarily need to change anything about it. So for the most popular part, obviously, is the camera. So I don't know why you would have camera shake on, but if you do, I guess respect to you for trying that. But for field of view, 110, distance is 280, height 90, angle is -5, stiffness is 40, swivel speed is 6, and then finally transition speed is 1. So basically, I used to have my height at 110 as well, and then my angle at -6. But recently, you guys know who Mittens is. Mittens is my boy, and he told me to switch my height to 90 and try a -5 angle, and I just kind of fell in love with it, and I kept my field of view and my distance the same, and it just makes it a little bit easier for me to play, and it just makes me feel a little faster. So if you guys want to try these out, they're pretty good camera settings. They're unlike most people's, so that is something that are pretty unique about them. For my controls, so we'll get to the controls a little bit later. I don't have controller vibration on either. That would be not very fun. I don't think anyone should ever play with controller vibration on either. My dead zone straight up is just 0.10, and then dodge zone is 0.2, so doubled it. Steering is 1.1, area 1.2, and then I don't need a mouse or a keyboard, so it just defaulted. So for my settings, everything is basically default, except for my power slide is on L1, as well as my air roll is on L1. So air roll and power slide are the exact same key, and then air roll left I put on square, so I can do my the air tornado aerials and stuff like that. Everything else is pretty default. Focus on the scoreboard. I changed to R1 just because there's nothing on R1. That's pretty much about it. Everything else is default, so I have a pretty simple controller setup. So for interface, I usually keep my interface scale at 70, which is pretty small, but I like to keep it smaller. Display, this is all default as well. I don't have colorblind mode on. Some people like to have colorblind mode on, but these are just for like the name tags on people and like the colors of the game. So it's pretty basic. This is all still defaulted. I don't have any of this changed because there's really no need to unless you really want to. For video, standard default 1920 by 1080 with the full screen. I don't really like to play on borderless. These are all default as well with my max FPS at 144 because I do have a 144 Hz monitor. And everything else on the advanced settings I have at performance, which is the lowest. So everything here is at performance. I have nothing on except for transparent goalposts. In this way I get the most FPS, and also I feel like the game just looks the most clean in my opinion when there's nothing on, especially with like texture detail and stuff like that. If you put that on high, it looks good, I'll say that, but it doesn't necessarily work the best with FPS, And then audio, this is all personal preference depending on how loud your headphones are and stuff like that. And then chat, I think the only thing that I have different is nice one, and then everything else is pretty much defaulted with okay. I think isn't default either, but that's pretty much about it. And to recap, we got the camera here if you wanted to see it one more time, and we got the controls here. I'll scroll through this one more time for you guys. But basically, when I switched to this new camera, I just, like, the very first game I played with it, I did amazing. Like, I had a really nice shot that I'll put in here for you guys. And it was just, it was insane. I really don't know, because some people like to change their camera settings a lot, and personally, I've kept these same camera settings that are not the ones that I have right now. I've kept them for like 2 whole years of playing Rocket League, and I kept the exact same camera settings, and it worked for me for 2 years. And then just a week ago I changed them, and then I felt a little bit better. I don't know. It's all kind of a placebo effect, I think. But basically, it's all about your own opinion, and you just gotta test out with people's camera settings, see what you like if you're a lower ranked player, or if you just want something new in your game. But other than that, guys, I'm working on a whole series of videos for the next couple weeks. It should be a lot of work that I'm going to be putting into this, and it should be really good. It's going to be a bunch of like tutorial videos and stuff like that. I'm just working on like a whole series. I'm going to actually make these videos really good. And like I've said always, every single video, I am working on that monetization. So if you guys have watched all the way till right now, it really does mean the world to me, because you did watch the whole video, and I really appreciate it. And I'm really close to monetization. Like I said again, probably about 80% of the way there. We got about a couple weeks till it resets. So I'm almost there, boys. I'm almost there. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you watching. Make sure to go follow my Twitter and my Twitch, and I will see you guys later. Peace.